Are you interested in avoiding all the key clicks needed to program your BaoFeng handy talkie? This wireless programmer from Tidradio might just fit the bill. Hi, and welcome to the Gadget Talk channel, where we do reviews and how-tos on a variety of electronic gadgets that catch my eye. In this video, we're going to take a look at a cool Bluetooth programming device from Tidradio that allows you to use a smartphone app to program many BaoFeng radio models, along with several others based on the BaoFeng architecture. In a nutshell, the Tidradio wireless programmer plays the role of the programming cable you'd use with a computer, except it's connected to an app on your smartphone. Once connected, you can access the radio's memory items and select the options the same way you do when using the radio's buttons, except with a much easier to use user interface. Using saved radio configurations, you can easily program a bunch of radios to the same configuration by simply connecting the wireless program to each one sequentially. I found this Bluetooth programming idea compelling after purchasing another dual-band handy talkie recently that had a built-in Bluetooth module. I really like the idea of accessing the radio's menus on my phone as opposed to the radio's keypad. Making changes when out and about is just so much easier. When Tidradio contacted me about doing a review, I was happy to do that as I was already pumped up about the idea of smartphone-based radio programming. Just so you know, they provided the device for the review, but have no input on the review. The matching app is called OD Master and is available in both the App Store and the Play Store. The latest version includes some bug fixes and adds a radio to the available choices. Another reviewer had some issues with write failures when he left channel numbers empty. In the demo you'll see in a minute, the channel list does include some gaps and the write function proceeded without error, so that seems to have been fixed. The last thing I'll mention before jumping into the demo is that model numbers matter. Even seemingly similar BaoFeng radios don't read if they are not listed. For example, my F8HP isn't listed and won't read with any of the other models I tested, so keep that in mind. So you can see that the Tidradio Model BL1 Bluetooth wireless programmer is not very big. It doesn't amount to much. It fits easily in my hand. Along with the device, you get a little VIP service card that tells you how to contact them if you need help. And then you get a couple pages of paper here to describe the OD Master app. And it will give you some of the things that you'll need to do and a couple of basic troubleshooting items. And so that's what you're going to get when you order this. Now here I have a UV5R EX from Radioddity. So we'll see how this connects then. You see that we pull back the cover. We've got the K1 connectors there, the microphone and speaker. And then we just place this in there. We make sure that we get it fully seated. If we can look in there, you can see that sometimes this little rubber cover can get in the way. And so when you get it in there, or you think you have it in there, really give it a nice firm push, and then that'll connect things up. There is an on-off button at the top, which turns the device on, and then we can turn the radio on, which will allow us to connect to our app, which we'll take a look at in just a minute. Behind this little cover here is a charging input. It's a USB micro, so it's a little bit bigger, one of the older styles of USB cords. And so make sure that you've got that available to you and that you keep it with you. But again, there's a little battery in here, so it is self-sufficient once you get the device charged. So let's take a look at the application next. So here we have the OD Master app that we've got on this screen. Let's look at the icons at the bottom here very quickly before we jump into the programming. So here you've got POC, I'm not sure what it stands for, but it's the social aspects. Maybe it's points of contact, who knows. But you can select friends, groups. So you can see that the base of this app had some social media component to it. So you can get together and share settings and that kind of thing. Probably not something most of us is going to do, but it's built there into the app. When I go over to me, it's my account, and you can see that I can give myself a nickname, and then I can get into my settings, which include the version number and some other things. The logout command is there. Because when you start here, you're going to have to register and open an account, which is a little odd for this kind of thing. But again, when you understand that there's some social nature to this, it becomes a little more understanding. It doesn't cost anything, but be mindful. That's one of the things that you're going to have to do. In the status icon, here is some of that social stuff. And so you can correspond with Tidradio and ask questions through the app. And so here you can see that this person called Kate is answering a question from about a week ago and giving them a direct link to the app, because as this is being recorded, the app's only been back in the Play Store for a couple of days. It had been down while they did some reprogramming to fix some bugs. So here we have some of the social aspect of this app. What we're all interested in, however, is the programming aspect. So let's work through that here just quickly. So we'll start at the top to make sure that the Tidradio kit is connected. It is. We're going to select a model. And you can see there that we've got a number to choose from. We've got a number of Tidradio models. 10-way, there's one model. Radioddity, there's one model, but we're interested in BaoFeng right now. So there are several BaoFeng models available. We're going to hit the UV5R. Next, we're going to read from the radio. So now we're reading. Sometimes that doesn't read, so you saw me click the OD Master and go back, and it came back and made that connection. So that's what we want. It's processing the data right now. And so it comes up in our programs and settings. And so this is what we have. So on channel 1, I've got a UHF call frequency there. I've been messing with this, and so that transmit frequency is off. So I'm going to make a change to that. We've got high power, we've got wide narrow set, busy lock is off, and we can make a call to that. So I think this should be 1446. So we'll make that change because we don't want an offset there. We don't want any PL codes, and we've got the change made. Now, what I want to do is program a brand new channel for you here very quickly. I'm going to go up to channel 63. So here is channel 63. I guess I had programmed this in already. And so we've got 146.520. So that looks good, 146.520. And we're going to give it a name. And so we're going to call that sample. Okay, so we're good with that. You can see that I got the usual kinds of screens popping up for copy and paste and so forth. And so that's just fine. Wide narrow is wide, so we've got all that clear. And so what I want to do at this point then is, since I read this from the radio, I want to save it. If I was using one that I had downloaded from the phone, it would give me the chance to update this. And so I'm going to go here and look at my list of choices. I've got the one from the other day, from July 7th. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to call this sample. I'm going to confirm. See the little thing is twisting there, and so I've confirmed that. And now since I had 146.520 in channel 63 already, I'm going to go up to channel 64 and may add another channel just so that we can tell that it had made the change. So 440.000 and 440.000, power's low, and so I've made a change here to channel 64 as well. So we're going to save. We're going to call it the same thing. Give it a 1 in this case. And so now we've got those changes made, and that's as easy as it gets in terms of making channels. Now I want to make a load what we just did into this, and you'll see a couple of changes. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to sample 1. It's loading, and now you can see it's titled sample 1, and up here it says update instead of save. And at this point, I'm going to make a write to my radio, so I'm going to press write. The progress bar comes on. My radio is blinking. Its upload is complete. It's confirmed. And so now we have it. If I go to channel 63 on my radio, it says sample. If I go up to channel 64, it says 440.00. Those were the changes we just made. And so in fact, the write command worked, and I'm ready to go. Now, if I had another radio to program, I could use that same programming setting and just blast through a bunch of them, or just keep it on my phone in case when I'm out, I want to make a change. So as you can see, the wireless program works very well, and the app is easy to follow. A drawback of smartphone apps is that it's hard to get a display that shows all the channels. There just isn't enough screen real estate to do that. Now, that's the same issue you face when programming via the radio's faceplate, so with that in mind, setting up your radio's memories initially might be easier via Chirp. However, after that, updates and changes via the app are easy. Of course, if you prefer, you can always just note channel assignments in a notebook. The other thing you'll want to double check is that the device is fully seated to the K connector on the side of the radio. The rubber cover can sometimes prevent the pins from fully seating. This is not unique to the programmer, as I've had the same thing happen with hand mics too. So to wrap this up, I really like the idea of wireless programming, and the app and device combo seem to work well. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. What would be really cool is if a group of open source folks could get together with the app designer and, like Chirp, allow qualified enthusiasts to add radio configurations for some of the other non-BaoFeng radios on the market. In my opinion, this device is that cool. Hey, if you found this video helpful, please click the thumbs up button below the video and subscribe to the Gadget Talk channel. Click the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, and 73.